And it's just like you're grounded in it, which is so cool. You're excited and your energy's up, but yet you're very grounded in the momentum that you got going. I do feel like new creative endeavors. Ooh, oh, I'm excited. I'm not sure exactly what that means for you. Maybe you'll be inspired to expand the business and even like your yeah. So the candles. I feel like you're going to be adding new things to that as well. Have you ever looked at um like the gel air fresheners that you sit around? I feel like that's something like this you might expand. Um ooh, that would be perfect with all of your scents. Expanding in different ways. Also, maybe adding a different cleaner product. Okay. I'm not sure why they chose those words because you do use very clean. Oh, maybe you're switching up brands of your scents or fragrances or something like that so that it's more um, like essential oils or something like that. Um, but something that's a little bit natural, I guess is the best way to kinda say that. Yeah, I feel like there's a easy add into what you're doing, that's gonna take off for you. So kinda check that little idea out. I feel like it's gonna pay off pretty good because your customer base is gonna love it. Yeah. So some kind of like reward trip coming up in the fall, and now, I don't know if you're a beach girl, but I feel like there's a beach coming up for you. July, July, sometime in July. Yeah. um, yeah. I just feel like there's a lot of really good stuff coming forward for you. Follow your gut, your intuition. If it's a yes, and move on and go straight for it. If there's a no, then trust it and move on. You're not being judgmental. You are listening to your intuition and you're discerning quickly and moving forward. Yes. Oh, I'm excited for you. Yes. Oh, awesome. So you already earned a cruise for November. This is going to be a blast. You are going to have a lot of fun on that. That's awesome. Congratulations. Yes, Brenda, they have her and her wife have amazing candles. Really nice. Okay. Hi, Deborah. Welcome. All right, Krista, I'm going to leave that with you, my dear. Much love. Oh, I get excited when they give you fresh ideas. All right, so let's see here. We're going to kind of scroll through here and see who we find for a reading. Oh, you're so welcome, darling. All right. All right. We have Presh. All right, my dear. I was scrolling through and I landed with you, my dear. All right. Oh, Presh. You know, spring has sprung, and with it comes a new inspiration for you. I feel like, you know, when we do some like spring cleaning, there's something about spring cleaning. We dread to start it, but how it just transforms our energy and our space and how we feel in that space. I feel like for you, this spring, there is that maybe reorganizing, maybe you're going to be redecorating, just shifting things around in the home is where they're talking about this for right now. They're talking about in the home. So if you've not known about feng shui, maybe hello my dear, maybe um look into that and move things in that manner and see what that does with how you are. I know when I clean, I sage, I rearrange, I do different things, the energy is so powerful. And you're a very empathic person. And sometimes you don't realize at home that the energy is shifted. So we got to find a way to shift it again into a positive. So if you're not doing like saging and clearing your own home, you can do it. You can still do that if you like, but there's something about the home and flipping up that energy and getting it opened up, which is, like I said, the perfect time of year, right? Spring, time to open the windows, clear everything out. I feel like in the process of doing that, you do really well when you're trying to work something out emotionally or mentally if you're doing something physically. Does that make sense? Like I'm like that where if I get busy, yep, lots of water. Oh my, water leaks in the home. Okay. So there's those things that need to be taken care of as well. But they were talking about more of the energy of things. The water is a whole other issue of things. Hmm. Okay. They are asking that you're looking at like purifiers and things like that as well. Just moved into a new home. So is it a it's a new home but not a new construction. Is that correct? I'm just waiting on her to answer. So I was asking what she needed to kind of like look at for the home. Yes. So that's correct. Okay. So I asked, when your water, there's always the big concern about, molds and things like that. But what they were saying was, um, it's more about setting things in the right places and aligning the energy as it needs to be. Have you noticed All right, they're just saying very clearly wherever your head where however you have your bed set, I feel like is not in the right place. So that could be adding to disruption in sleep. And it's almost is it a ley line? I'm trying to see through. So interesting. I heard that where your bed is placed is like over a ley line, and that's not the best place to sleep. And if you know how to dowse or something, you can confirm that, um, or you can ask your own team. But what I'm hearing is just the little shift in that going more feng shui, and that will shift that whole energy in the room for you. They're excited about where you are. There's something about convenience of where you moved, to things that you prefer. So for me, that's in the middle of the woods. It's not really convenient to anything, but for me, it's kind of like that situation. So I don't know if it's exactly where it's located, but for you, it's more convenient, they're saying. And have you thought about or looking into gardening in your new space? I don't know if you're a gardener, but I feel like you understand the bed move. Okay, perfect. Um, yeah, there's something about getting in growing and getting into the earth of where you're at since it's a new place. You need to get yourself in that energy and that energy within you. So whether that's planting flowers or having a food garden or whatever you're doing, I feel like doing that um also helps you get more grounded and centered in your home, right? You were doubting the move. Well, understandable, they're saying, because change and doing all of that is is not easy. But they wanted you to go back to why you chose there. There was something within your own guts that you listened to. And so just trust the process. But part of it is when you rearrange things, the energy will feel more homey and um, more yours, if that makes sense. Lots of plants around the house. Perfect. They like that for you. You do really well with with those things around. So get your hands in the dirt and get to know the energy of your new place. And I feel like you'll feel better by the time you come into winter, fall and winter. When we come into that internal time, um, you're going to feel much more cozy and warm in your home. So trust the process. Get out and get into your space, inside and outside, and make it all your own, little bit by little bit. You don't have to spend a whole lot of money. It's more about your time and energy into it. Yeah. So try to have a little bit of fun with that process. You're going into winter now. Okay. So they were just saying that, okay, um, that you should be a little bit more cozy. So maybe that's what's going to take for you to um, rearrange things, and then you'll settle right into that. And there's something that is very palpable differences. Do you understand that? Because I feel like you're intuitive to feel that. So the other thing that you can add is, and I feel like this would be very helpful for you, is selenite. I don't know if you're big into crystals, but you can get like the lamps that are selenite. Selenite is so clearing, and hi beautiful, and it's very clearing. I love the frequency of it. Yes. So I have selenite everywhere in my house. I have all kinds of crystals, but selenite is one of my loves. So I would think that that might be very helpful for you as well. In your bedroom, where your head of your bed is now, around that area is also a very good place for a selenite. Yeah. So do whatever it takes for you to feel you have the crystals. Awesome. Um, yeah, whatever it takes for you to feel more centered and grounded. I like to do like winter projects. I do a lot of internal work during the winter, but also painting, doing things like that. And then spring comes, think about what you're going to do for spring. Are you planting? What are you going to do? Yep. You put it around the house. Perfect. Perfect. I'm going to leave that with much love, my dear. Hello, my dear. Thank you so much for coming in. It's good to see you guys. All right. Let me see here. Tori. I have Tori here. Let me tap in with Tori. Tori, there is a woman, and it feels like a sister-like energy. It could be sister, it could be, a really close friend. Um, but I'm getting with this particular woman, maybe you had some words recently. Maybe you had very distinct differences on your perception of whatever the topic was. But I feel like you both were very strong in different directions. And I think with this, does this make sense for you, Tori? Hello, my dear. Because I'm getting with this particular woman, I think it surprised you both that where this went, where this um, conversation went. I don't think that you anticipated to both dig your your heels in so much. But I feel like it's made you both take a step back and pause because it was actually very surprising um, for each other. Now, that being said, maybe there were things said that shouldn't have been said or were said in a harsher way, or you know sometimes we can get very sensitive about those things. I feel like there is a way to move forward in it, and in this is a great learning lesson for both of you of how you can express yourself and believe whatever it is that you believe. And you can still stand in allowing the other person to feel just as strongly in the opposite direction and not have it affect the relationship. It's a skill to develop that. But I feel like this is a great opportunity for both of you to find love for yourself and for the other person in the situation enough to say, let's agree to disagree and let it go and move forward. Find your way forward. If there's an apology, then it needs to be said. More, but I think what I'm hearing is sometimes we're stubborn and we don't want to apologize. And sometimes it's not really needed to apologize. There can be multiple reasons why it kind of escalated, right? But you still, at the end of the day, need to love and respect each other, even if you don't agree or plan to ever agree. Okay. So, Spirit is just reminding you that there's an underlying relationship that you want to preserve. And sometimes that means you don't talk about certain topics with people because it just isn't going to go anywhere. Right. So, learn what you need to from this and send a lot of love and move forward in it. And I feel like it's like a big check for you on learning this lesson. Right? We're here to constantly learn and grow, and this is a great opportunity for both of you to do that. And remember that this year, last year, and this year, and next year, we are all in a lot of transition and growth and flux and uncertainties. And there's all these other things that are compounding just daily life and relationships. So if we can remember that, that can also help us not be as reactive. And what Spirit is saying is you can sometimes be very reactive, emotional, like you can get triggered emotionally. You've done better. They're giving you credit for sometimes holding your tongue when you're triggered instead of just firing that out. Does that make sense? Like that was growth enough. So they're giving you thumbs up for being able to recognize when you're getting triggered and not necessarily lashing out or speaking out. Does that make sense for you, Tori? It makes sense. Great. Yep. So they're giving you a lot of credit. That's a big skill. Took me a long time to be able to do that. So learning how to stay centered and grounded within your own truth is one of your big lessons. And this is just another layer for you to check off and move forward. But trust you're going to have other opportunities to continue to learn this. Okay. But you're getting better at them. So that's totally awesome. I do feel like a new I don't I get friendship, a new friendship coming in. And I feel like this would be there's a male that you meet, and I get friends. And it's coming from a place where like mine. So maybe it's a hobby or something that you're doing, but you meet somebody and it's just like feels like brother energy. Like just so awesome that you can have a connection and it's just like soul family. Okay. Um so pay attention for that. That's coming. mm, they're kind of going like May to September. They're not giving me a real clear. So but it's coming up here pretty soon. So that's awesome for you. And it's going to also help you redefine like what they're showing me is like maybe in the past you made a comment and you felt very strongly that whatever this was, like a man and a woman cannot be just friends, or like I feel like you had a very strong stance about something. And what they're going to do is really try to um, help you see sometimes those strict hard lines aren't always the case, right? Always and nevers, they like to blur those out and let you experience what it is like without that hard black and white rigidity, if you will. So this new connection is stemming from something that you have said in the past. And it's almost like somebody in spirits going, "Oh, well, you think that right now, so let's put that on the next on the docket for you to experience, so that maybe you can shift a perspective a little bit." Spirit has a funny way of kind of teaching us, right? I don't know. My team, they get very punchy about stuff like that. They're always like, "Oh, okay, well, I can't wait to see how she reacts to this." So we have to be careful how we put things and how we draw these lines in the sand, because if that's not part of what we're here to experience, guess what? We're going to get some experiences to help us shift it. Oh, but I do feel like a lot of fun over the summer for you. And so maybe a trip. Um, oh, this is interesting. So have you ever said something like you wanted to see so many of the states, or like you wanted to like drive across the country or do some kind of driving road trip? Hello, welcome. That's what I was seeing. I was seeing like maybe you're gonna go driving and you're gonna just get in the car and go, where are we going next? And just go and have a little adventure. Well, that it sounds like fun. If you're game for something like that, I feel like there's a great opportunity coming over the spring and summer months. All right, Tori, I'm going to leave that with you with much love, my dear. That's so you. That's awesome. Yeah, that's really cool. And maybe that's what you do. Like, I saw like a map and you're like putting pins where you've been. And yeah, it looks like a heck of a good time. I'm quite sure you could find a partner in crime to go with you. That's awesome. That is awesome. I will leave that with much love, my dear. Kelly, my beautiful Kelly, how are you tonight, my dear? It's good to see you. All right, let's see. Is Hope? I have Hope Walters. Hope, are you still in the room, my dear? You're so welcome. You are very welcome. So, guys, if you ever want to have a full reading with me, I am a medical intuitive and I do psychic readings as well. And you can always go over to my site. I'm going to put it in here. It's drwalkersapothecary.com. All right. Hope, are you still in the room? We're just waiting to verify. Hello, Stephanie, honey. How are you? Well, hello, Lydia from New York. Hi, Cindy. Good to see you. All right. So Hope's not here. All right. Washington State. Awesome. Thanks, guys, for telling us where you're at. I love it. I love that we can connect. Those of us that are up there in age, we remember when there was no internet. We couldn't connect like that. So it's just so wonderful. Okay. So Hope is not here. We're going to move on and find somebody else. What about Michelle? Michelle F., are you still in the room, my dear? Hello, Cheryl. Good evening. Thank you guys so much for coming in. Let's see. Wonderful. Philadelphia. We got somebody else. Hi, Mike. I am in Pennsylvania as well. Isabel, nice to see you guys. Thank you so much for coming in. All right. Let's see. We were trying to get Michelle F. Are you still in the room, my dear? There you are. All right. So let me see here. Ooh, as soon as I tap in with you, hello, Lynn. Welcome. Michelle, so what I got was, boy, do you have your mind goes 24 hours a day. It feels like very, very busy. Lots of bees buzzing around your head. And I feel like you are very good at organizing things. You're like, you're in mom mode, I call it, where you're like multitasking everything all the time. And you're good at it. You're good at keeping people on track. You're good at doing all those things. But you're not so good about yourself. That's the mom part, right? Like we take care of everybody else, but we're not always so good about doing the things that we know we need to do for ourselves. And so spirit is saying they notice that you've been trying to do better with that. And so they're giving you credit for that and saying, "Way to go. You're listening more." And I I get that maybe it comes from, okay, I feel like when we keep ourselves going in that fight and flight all the time, right? It sends our cortisol levels up and we're just always in that, busy, busy, busy mode, but yet you're feeling exhausted. Exactly. That it takes its toll. And I felt like you had almost like a medical scare, or you're just coming to the point where you're just going to hit the wall here with your health, with your energy, with all of that. Um, so I'm seeing a couple things, okay? And I usually don't do strictly medical readings, but that's where they're drawing me for you. So a couple things to think about and consider. Um, I'm not your healthcare provider, but you want to make sure that you talk to yours before you do any of this. But what they're talking about is, well, one, we need to have a better schedule to sleep. So your sleep has been off and you're not getting deep, deep sleep. You're not hitting your REM sleep enough. So, a couple things that can be helpful towards the evening, turning the lights down. They actually have red lenses or amber lenses, glasses to help block out that blue light, turn those big overhead lights off, all that kind of stuff. Um, and okay, they also are talking about, okay, there's also some issue with brain fog. Your Definitely your adrenals are stressed. They're showing me heavy metal detoxing. The liver is very congested, and we you may need to consider like cleanses to kind of get things moving. The lymphatic system, the whole lymphatic system needs to be moving. Really good way is those little vibration plates, things like that can help. So you're saying that your mom has breast cancer and you have a biopsy. They're talking about overhaul of the diet, overhaul of the diet. And I feel like the diet has been something that they've been talking about with you for a while. And like you do good for a little while and then you're kind of like all over the place with your diet. But if we're looking at or concerned about cancers, then that's sugars and carbs and things, and like going super clean with your diet, fresh fruits and vegetables, eating lean and clean meats, getting rid of processed crap, which honestly, the more that is coming out of the food quality in the US, it's not a hard decision to make anymore because it's just mind boggling, what's going on with that, with the food system. But they're also talking about some herbal supplements. Okay. So, like sour sop is amazing. You also need to do a very thorough parasite cleanse. So, you can talk to a naturopath, you can talk to some herbalists, there's lots of people that know how to do all of these things. Okay. um your regular doctor that you go see probably doesn't know about these things, but you can certainly ask them. um Finding ways to deal with your anxiety, meditation, breath work. Breath work is very important. Um, you need a lot of different um, coping mechanisms to help you because you're getting you with the level of anxiety, it's really hard to make a very good solid decision, if that makes sense. So we have to kind of like step back, sit with things before because you have to sort through the emotion, which is natural with when you have a concern, right? Like you have a serious concern that you're worried that you have cancer. So that's all kind of normal that that happens, but we need to understand that that's happening. But in order to get clear messages from the divine for yourself, you have to kind of shut down that chatter a little bit so that you can receive. So you are already intuitively you got that you needed to do parasite cleanse. Yeah, and there's more data that's coming out about cancers in that um 99% of the time there's different parasites that are within these tumors. So yeah, parasite cleansing is a fascinating dive to go down that rabbit hole, but I would highly suggest that. And I would highly suggest looking at soursop. Whether you're doing the tea, whether you're eating it, the fruit, whatever you're doing, soursop is a very powerful um, to prevent and to help in treatment of cancers. And then remember, we always have to look at emotions, body, mind, and spirit. So it's not always just physical, though you do have a lot of physical stuff going on, my dear. There's a lot of emotion around cancer. There's a lot of anger, deep seated frustration and anger associated, or so that is what um, some of us believe, right? Like Louise Hayes, she always had about emotions in the body and what that means. And I agree that we have to look at those things in order to truly let things go. So consider that there may be some deep-seated anger towards somebody in your past, a parent or, a spouse or whatever. Sometimes those emotions we have to still kind of like work through and let go of in love so that it's not affecting your health. So there may be a lot of different things you want to look at um, when you're considering these things. Okay. So I feel like it's not just one thing. Your adrenals, though, are very, very stressed. They could use some help from like DHEA. Whew, they're talking about even like some peptides. If you really are interested in looking at some of the peptides that can help with the mitochondrial function and regenerating cells. So there's like NAD, there's a MODC, there's BPC 157, there's a TB 500. Those are all ones that they're throwing, they're just like bringing those up that all can help in rebuilding your body from all this long term stress and whatever else is going on. I know it seems overwhelming, but spirit wants you to know that you can do this and that you already are getting that information. Oh, yeah. So you have a lot of anxiety and grumpiness, three different family members with cancer. Sorry, my dear. And so then you have the burden of taking care of elderly parents as well. You have a lot. So I would highly suggest talking with somebody. You need to talk through and let go of all of that stuff you're storing up in there. You know, it's legit. It affects your emotions can totally affect how your body is functioning like that. So we're going to send you a lot of love and a lot of healing to help you through this transition and, going through these things. But, there are things you can do proactively to kind of jump in and get things going. Okay. I would highly suggest finding a naturopathic provider close to you. that can give you some tips and tricks and kind of help you in the more natural way. Um, for sure. Yeah. I hope that helps. I know it was a lot. Um, there's a whole lot. There's a whole lot that is going on um, with you, but it's always body, mind, and spirit. It's so important when we have any health challenge that we look at all of that, because if you don't address the emotions and the spiritual component of it, the physical rarely gets healed. It may improve and fluctuate, but it rarely is healed until you address everything. And when you do, then it's healed. Like, we have to provide as much hospitable environment for our bodies to do the work. Our bodies know what we need. We have to get out of the way and correct whatever we're doing to provide that situation so it can heal. But unfortunately, we're complicated creatures, and it's a lot of things: body, mind, and spirit. So don't neglect yourself anymore, my dear. Um, really try to um, get in and talk to somebody about all of this, the feelings that you have, so that you can just let it go. Let it go. Life's too short. Life's too short to hold on to stuff like that. Okay. Well, we send your family members a lot of love as well. Much love, my dear. Oh, it's very, very challenging when you do have like health concerns. And I've seen it, I've been in healthcare 35 plus years, and the people that do really well are working all of the different aspects. I never said it was easy, but it's always worth it. But it's always worth it. All right, my dear. I'm going to leave that with much love. All right, let's see here. I think we have time for one more reading. So let me um, scroll on through here, see if we can find somebody that would like a reading before we call it for the night. All right, let's see. Cheryl. Cheryl Hood. Are you still in the room, my dear? All right. Let's see. Hello, my dear. Cheryl, are you still here? Ah, hey. All right, my dear. So, okay, so when we're tapping in with you, um, ooh, okay. So when I tap into your energy, I feel like I need to take a deep breath. And this can be multiple. It could be physical, like you just don't feel like you can get a deep breath that right now or recently, or this also can be like, oh, we just need to take a breath, take a break, take a time out here. Just too much stuff going on. And I think it's probably of both. Do you smoke? Do you smoke? I'm getting when I get that struggle to take that deep breath, sometimes that's when somebody is smoking and I smell cigarette smoke. Hello, my dear. She got a lot of stuff going on. Okay. Okay, so you do not smoke. Okay. So yeah, it was interesting because it feels like, oh, okay. Okay, now I got that. Your husband smokes. I have a male coming forward in spirit that used to smoke. I don't know if this is father. coming in. Your husband does smoke. Yeah, I get that you take on everybody's stuff. What I'm hearing is that you yes, yes, it does. Okay. So so I what I'm getting is like you really take very good care of your husband. You do so much. You just do so much for so many people. There's and what I'm hearing is you only do it because one, you can get it done faster if you just do it yourself. It's done the way you want it. People just rely on you. People put a lot on you, and you put that on yourself. Your boundaries aren't always the best because you'll just be like, "Yep, I'll just do it. I'll just do it." But they're asking for you to take a step back from that because part of you enjoys doing that because you like to be needed in a way, like you like that. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I feel like you're out of balance on it. You're out of balance. So maybe it's never, and I hear, as soon as we said that, I heard, yes, but you can't teach a new dog old tricks, old dog, new tricks. But yes, you can. You can begin to say, you know what? I'm slowing down. I feel like you guys need to pick up and do a little bit more. And you need to truly just like retrain them to take care and do more for themselves. Okay. Take a little bit of that time that you were doing for others and do for yourself. Go for a walk. Find your peace in your center. And you're not used to being quiet and still and in your own, but you need it. Your soul desperately needs that. So they're asking you to please take some more time for yourself. Dad is saying hello. He is just I don't know if it's his birthday or there's an anniversary coming around, but he's showing up giving flowers and he's just wanting you to know that he's so proud of you. You really have just the most beautiful soul. He just loves your kind heart and he says you've never lost that despite all of the things that you've gone through. So he's so very happy. Just wanted to pop in quick. Um, and he wants you, your birthday. Nice. Oh, that's so nice. Yeah, he just wants you to know that he loves you very much. And he wants you to just find more joy on daily life. Find more joy and have a lot more fun. Don't worry so much about the consequences of things. Like spend the money now, don't save it for a rainy day. Do what you want to do. Now's the time to take care and have a little fun and a little adventure. And it's 11. So I'm going to leave that with so much love for you, my dear. Happy birthday. Thank you all for joining me tonight, and I'll see you next week. Much love. Namaste.